Show the votes for every n months based on the reporting date. We have a reporting date, we have months, then we have our votes. F9, and I'm going to explain what we're trying to do. This is a rather difficult computation. I'm going to explain what all of this does in order to come up with this number. We're going to use if, mod, and DATEDIF to come up with this answer. Brad Williams, Excel primed. Show the votes for every n month based on the reporting date. This one, there's a couple critical factors. This right here, this reporting date and mod. Keep that in mind. If, here's our formula. Well, let me back up here. What we're going to do is we're going to look at votes if the reporting date is true. We're going to look, we have calendar 1 through 12. And then if we find it true, then satisfy it. Otherwise, don't. This is all based off of this if. If it's true, then fulfill it. Otherwise, put a big old 0. In other words, look at our reporting date, and based on months, can we satisfy that requirement? F9, notice F9, and we've got all kinds of moving parts here. If you see here, we've got a 1/26/2029, and we're reporting every 3 months. F9, every 2 months, but notice this is important. Notice the reporting date. Don't think of this as February. It's reporting every 2 months from this reporting date. And then the 100 votes, really not that important. N is important. N is equal to F4, which is what? The months. Votes, F5, and reporting date, F6. Let me just try to point this out. We have this if. I'm just going to go in here. If B5 is greater than the reporting date, then satisfy this thing. What are we going to satisfy? Well, the value of true. And then value of false, just put a big old 0. What's tricky here is this mod. And in short, we're taking the divisor. We're going to take the divisor, which is going to be the months. If it's an odd number, most likely we're going to be able to satisfy this thing. And if it's an even number, we're going to go even. Let me rephrase that. If the months is negative, most likely we're going to get a true with odd months. What we're doing is show the votes for every n months based on the reporting date. Now here we have a bunch of nums. And then our first reporting date is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. All right, so every 2 months, F9. Here's the internals, okay? We're going to have votes. All right, notice if we look at the formula here, you see this formula? It's the same thing as this right here. So I'm going to just pick this thing apart. Votes, 145. We have DATEDIF, reported. That is part of the true. If it's true, we want to say DATEDIF. What do we see here? We have a reporting date. I'm trying to find the month. It starts at 0. But given that it's DATEDIF, remember, this is not reporting with Excel. So if we try to break this thing apart, there's no information. There's no internals for this. But it still works. It was available in 2000, Excel 2000. But then somewhere along the line, it was just dropped off, but still available. It still works. It's saying DATEDIF M. We're getting DATEDIF B5 M. All right, so we're getting a num. We have the DATEDIF plus N is the divisor. See right here, DATEDIF M plus N. We go up here, we go into the live, we can see mod has a number and a divisor. Backing into mod. And then mod is this. And so we're getting num. Why? Well, because we don't satisfy the first requirement, and that is if the reporting date, if B5 is not greater than or equal to the reporting date, then put a 0. Put a 0, okay? So we have a 0 here. And I want to hit an F9 where it's accurate. What we need is a January reporting date, F9. So here, 1/1/29. Everything should be a green light here. Be sure to check out our extensive courses, which include Excel data and text manipulation for advanced users, beginners, intermediate. We also have this great essentials, the A to Z for advanced users, the comprehensive beginner level 1 and 2. Then we have our advanced formulas, strictly formulas, great set of courses, which we have a beginner level 1 and beginner level 2, this intermediate level, and we have this advanced level. Click on any of the links. There's a short video that explains everything about the course. Check it out. So here we have DATEDIF. We're going to have this M, which is going to be month, reporting date, B5, and that should be 1. Our N should be N is equal to 4. It's just going to show up as 2. If we go to mod, what are we going to do? We're going to take the number, F9, which is 2, and we're going to take this divisor, F9, which is 2. And mod's going to say, that's 0. And that's what we're looking for. Every 2 months, if we go back here, we have this reporting date, and see, we can't hash this out. We can't see what's going on. We have to take it for granted that this is true. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So this would be reporting date M. Okay, I kind of blew it there. I thought this was a comma N. This is plus N. Notice our counting here. Notice this counting, and it's 0. Well, we can't do much with a 0 start. So we start with 2. Okay. That's our starting number. Then mod comes in and says, here is our distribution. Mod dated times votes 915 is 134. We have true. B5 is equal reporting 915. Where's this coming from? Here's your B5. Then we went mod. We have this value of true. We took this value of true to come up with this number here, the number of votes. And then in the end, this is the final output right here, the final output. Which key here, again, is this plus N in order to show the reporting dates. Again, we're going from 1/1/29 through here to determine the number of months, okay? Then mod does its thing. If we go to a different number, notice 410, our start time, notice it's 3. It's 3 because we need a start date. So we're going to add 3. We're going to add 3 here to the true. Then we're going to say, here is where we're going to start. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, yes. No, yes. F9. And here's a 2. And we start at 6, 7. So 7/1 will be our reporting, and then every 2 months. So F9. And here is 1/11, but we have to start 1 month later. Okay, this is 3 months. So our first month will be February, and then we're gonna skip and then go to April, March, February, March, April, May, and so on and so forth. It's just a summary, and then the anatomy. Really, it's just a matter of the mod and the DATEDIF, and then moving forward. Okay, Brad Williams, Excel Prime. Work at it. We'll just keep working at it, tear it down. If the schematics here are bothering you, manipulate it so you can visualize this thing. Brad Williams, Excel Prime.